Today is the 11th of March and I wanted to do a video diary of my indoor seed starting. Because when I look at YouTube I see a lot of people talking about how good grow lights are to start seeds and what kind of special mix you need. But although that might, not saying that it doesn't work, it just, in my experience it's not necessary. I 2 years ago had some tomato seeds that I actually started on coffee grounds. I made some YouTubes about that because I was very excited how much it worked and how I grow them in my room and in front of the window, and they gave pretty decent tomatoes. The experiment then was in little cups versus big jugs of 5-gallon jugs of soil, and the 5-gallon jugs actually gave big tomatoes and did good, and the tomatoes in small cups also gave a lot of tomatoes and they were very nice, but the tomatoes didn't get as big, so that was a downside. Although for the amount of space I had, it was a really good result. And this year I actually for the first time will be able to plant outside, and that's why that has me very enthusiastic, and you can see how enthusiastic by the amount of seedlings I got in front of my windowsill. And yeah, let's talk about what I wanted to talk about. So I started some tomatoes, some basil, some parsley, 4th of February, and my technique is I use Chinese takeaway cups. I fill them for 3/4 of the way with potting soil, and that's just potting soil that I buy in the store. For it's 20 liters for €1, so 5 gallons for $1. And it's 3/4. I wet the dirt down so that it's nice and moist. And then I put a lid on it, close it, put it on my heating panel in my room, so that when it's a cold night, what we still have, it works as a heat mat, and that makes the seeds come up very quickly. And the tomato seeds actually came up in about a week, 7-8 days. Only one of them took 11 days, and the parsley took 11 days, but that's supposed to take longer. The basil was like 5-6 days. It looks really nice. There's nothing as succulent and nice tasting as fresh basil. This is the same one as in my old videos where I got huge leaves on it. And I actually can leave them in those cups, but the tomatoes I needed to transplant. The black cups I got from the gardening center, they always, a lot of people sell a lot of things and then have the plastic containers at the exit, and you can take them if you want. And I took them and washed them and transplanted my tomatoes in that as middle step. The green ones I actually got as a gift. They contain onion. This is a cherry tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes I started from fresh tomatoes. That's very nice. Like I just bought some of my favorite grape tomatoes from the store, cut them open and put some seeds out in the earth, and they came up very nicely. And then I transplanted those into those cups because though I had started those 5 days later. Like I had 4 kinds of tomatoes and I wanted some cherry tomatoes with them, so I put some round cherry tomatoes and some grape tomatoes, and they actually had 100% germination rate. That's why I have so many, more than I expected. And a friend asked me that, and I told her, yeah, I didn't expect them all to come up. And the only one that was bad was the Bradley, and that was a package that had been open for 3 years and not stored very good, but I still got 3 of those. But yeah, it doesn't take any more effort to water 20 tomatoes or 30 tomatoes. Maybe one time when we get a little bit more water, but it's not really time intensive to keep track of them. And this gives me some spare plans to experiment with, because the thing I love most about YouTube videos is the experiments they do. Uh, these lettuce plants and the onions I planted 28th of February, and I actually used coconut fiber. I got a cube of coconut fiber that's like 60 cents and it gives you 6 liters, so 1.5 gallon, and it has a nice germination rate. The onion seeds, I bought a package at the little German store, 19 cents, and there's about 200 seedlings that came up from it, so very good value for price. Just the coconut fiber doesn't have any feed in it, so it was on a package. You need to start feeding it after 1 week. So this Sunday I started feeding, put some liquid ecological biological feed into it, and I started feeding to the tomatoes also, even though that wasn't necessary. I figure it gives them an extra boost. And the feed costed was like €3 for a liter bottle that will last me the whole season. So pretty decent. But yeah, I just wanted to show off how good it works. Like this is a watermelon. Actually, 2 more came up. Planted like almost 2 weeks ago. I got some cucumber, some adieu pepper, and the white Chinese takeaway cup that I showed you before was jalapeno peppers. I also bought those just from the store. You can't really find those seeds here, but they do sell jalapeno peppers, and it's actually cheaper. You buy 2-3 peppers, like it costs next to nothing. Like the adieu peppers, the ones that growing here, all bunches of them came up, and it was like it was like 15 cents for 4 peppers, and I had I had over 100 seeds. Most of them I just ate, but there's like 40 or so of those plants that came up. But for tomatoes, I actually like the not commercial brands, because a lot of the times the more nutrient and tasty tomatoes are not the ones that store best and are in the stores. So I actually don't know how these ones taste. The Russian Black is the one that did best. I got 23 of those plants. It's supposed to be one of the sweetest tomatoes around. This is a Persimov, the green one. These are meat tomatoes, so the big ones. This is the round one, and the grape tomatoes. I got little plates with it to remind me what it is, because I want to keep track of everything this year and do it good. Oh yeah. For my birthday I got sunflowers. I started those 29th of February, and they're actually ready to transplant. This is what typically stuff looks for me when I start thinking about transplanting it. And unlike tomatoes, sunflowers you shouldn't bury deep, but I might do a video about it. Maybe I'll just take some pictures. But yeah, I hope this video was useful and that this gave you more encouragement to not go overboard when you want to start seeds, because all of this is like €5 that I spent, $5, and I got hundreds of plants. It's very simple, and this is I'm in the Netherlands, and we don't get as much light here. It's like 4:30 now, and it's practically dark already. So yeah, I'm very excited to start going outside. The lettuce I will transplant. We got a little greenhouse in the mail yesterday that we ordered, and I'm going to transplant out the lettuce and put them in trays, and so that they're separate, and go harden them off. And the onions I will also most likely harden off, because I just don't have room for keeping it all here. If the tomatoes start getting bigger, they will take away most of the light. So yeah, I hope this was useful, and if you liked it, subscribe and leave a comment if you have questions. I will do some tests with the tomatoes, because thanks to YouTube I know at least like 5 ways that you can do them. But the best ones I like is the trench one, where you dig it, let it grow big, and then bury the side so that it has all the way to the root, and The praxis method is also one I'm looking really forward to, because everyone knows that if you transplant them, you bury them a little bit deeper because they shoot roots all the way. But the praxis takes it to an extreme where you will bury the lowest big part of the plant in like 1-2 feet, and that way the roots are very deep and you don't have to worry about roots because the roots are deep and the earth and lower depths keeps the water better. Plus it is very sturdy plants, and it always looks very good on his YouTube, so I'm very much wanting to try that. And I'll give some updates when I start planting outside. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.